That's a very good point you make. And then people are just thinking about hypothetical, right? Because it's the basketball specifically card prices is going crazy. And then they don't play any game. Like it doesn't make sense. Like I have Joel Embiid card. I thought, oh, maybe he'll go up, in the future. No, he's going up. Like right now, he's doubling in price, and it just doesn't make any sense, right?
Well,
Because of
this.
their. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, this is what I'm thinking is that everyone starts getting in and they look at LeBron James. They're like, oh, LeBron, and his cards go up, and then people go, all right, well, that's a lot of money. I mean, I can't afford that, but who else is there? And then they look to
Ah,
Anthony Davis and some of the others and go, all right, well, that's really good. And then they look and say, well, if Anthony Davis is this high, then Damian Lillard should be higher than that. And then they flock to Damian Lillard. And they say, well, if
right.
Damian Lillard's this high, then this guy should be good too. And so it just always starts with that standard of LeBron or Tom Brady or someone, because they see the money and the attention first, especially from newer collectors that aren't as familiar. They just go for the proven, which is fine. But those go up. And then if you always compare to someone else, then
Yeah.
it's just going to keep going up and up and up all the way around, especially
Ah,
when no one can get injured or disappoint in their performance or all those things. It just is like, well, this bar goes up, then this one goes up, and then this one goes, and then it's just a cycle. So I feel like that's
wow.
the danger of sports not going on. It's just a lot of money entering without any real strategy on
Mm,
players so much, just because everything is in anticipation of what's going to happen. But it's been
okay.
that way for 3 months now.
Wow. Oof. This is a good conversation already. But let me say two things real quick. One, the quote you said earlier, the Warren Buffett quote. By the way, I love him. He's on my wall somewhere. But
Okay. That's Tiger Woods.
Tiger
Here,
Woods,
wait,
this
there
is
he is,
successful people
next to
wall.
Kobe.
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Anyway,
And Tiger, yeah, nice.
yeah, everybody's successful. But the quote you told me that quote through the
Oh,
comment
good,
section.
good. On YouTube, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
and that's a very good and that's a very good quote. And in like what you said, even if you buy like I buy base sets like soccer cards, that might be beyond that, and you might buy Kobe Bryant lots. But I think ultimately believing in yourself is like the best thing to do because if you really think something is a particularly good deal and nobody else sees it, well, then you should still buy it because people are looking for other opinions. I don't know. What do you think about that one?
I mean, look, I buy a lot of stuff that is really cheap now with the belief that it'll go up,
Right.
but I think it boils down to I can afford if I'm totally wrong to
Mm,
that. It's just, especially because what I'm buying now is literally cards, first year cards in
right.
sets that have not popped yet, that I
Okay.
feel like at some point will. But
Okay.
if they don't, it's $1 per card, $1.50 a card. They're proven players, and even if not, I could live with the loss. And I think there's a
Mm,
point where everything I show on my channel and everything I'm putting out, I'd like for every investment to have a 10x return, but I know
that's
that's
not.
not realistic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and even a lot of the returns now, some of it's just luck from so many people entering and being
Absolutely.
able to pay a premium. But the point is that I can live with just looking at the cards. If it's worth nothing, I could live with that. And if it doesn't go up in value, then I know that other investments that are a lot safer, that are a bit more proven, that I paid a higher amount for, but I know will go up long term, that's fine as well. And the other part too is I'm not in a rush for these cards to go. So if
Okay.
it's like 3 years from now,
Okay.
this set finally pops, okay, it's 3 years from now,
Oh, okay. Okay.
rather than,
Mm,
all right, I have to sell this. And I think what we're seeing now is a lot of people that are getting in that don't really have the patience, that might say they have the patience, but really they
yes.
do not. They
Yes.
will want to sell for a big profit in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, which is just not reasonable in a lot of cases. The only time I could see that happening is if something big happens in that sport where a starting
Mm,
quarterback gets injured, whether there's a huge trade, where there's something. But
right.
right now, with no news, how do you anticipate being able to make a huge profit without anything going on?
Right. Yeah, that's very good. That's a very excellent point. He said patience, everybody. Remember patience. Right.
We'll see. I mean, like everyone, it's
Yeah.
like we'll see who actually has it. because it's like, this has only been a couple months that I've been back in, and it's
Oh,
so,
really? Okay.
yeah, it's only been since like February, but I'm
Wow.
buying stuff for next summer already. I'm like thinking
Wow.
of what's going
Yes.
to be hot next summer that's
Yes.
really cheap now, because, and I want to mention, I think that's also an advantage of being 33 and older.
Right.
And like I had it in that one video, it's pretty much when I was younger, a year in the future just seemed like forever. Yeah, the younger
Oh,
you are, the bigger a year actually is to you. And then when you're 80 years old, a year is like nothing. But
yes, yes.
but
Yeah.
I'm at that point where at 33, I could easily say, all right, 6 months, a year in the future is not a big deal. While when I was a teenager, a year in the future is like, I don't know where in the world I'm going to be. I don't know who I'm going to be. Anything can happen in a year, which is
Yeah.
fun and exciting. But
Yes.
I think it also helps to say, you know what, let me plan for 6 months and a year ahead, while everyone now is just planning for a week or 2 weeks ahead. And that's what's dangerous. And just like that Warren Buffett, he has that other quote, the stock market, or in this case, the sports card market, is a device from transferring wealth from the impatient to the
Impatient to
patient.
the patient. I
Yeah.
know. I know. Wow, that's very, very true. Wow. And you are right. Younger people, 17 years old, their timetable is they think a year is so big thing, right? So maybe that's why they're looking to hurry up and buy and sell and maybe getting frustrated when they don't make profit. Oh, that's
Yeah.
completely understandable.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, like, I remember being 17, and a year
Yeah.
is long. And the difference between who you are at 17 and who you are at 18 is huge. So a year
Yeah.
is a big deal. I just, it's like, it's hard to instill that into someone that's young, that a year is not a big deal, especially if you love sports cards, because if you really want to be in this, then I don't even think of it as you have to wait a year. I see it more as, okay, if you're buying now for something that you know will be hot in 6 months, then all you're doing is having a 6 month delay, because that means in a month's time, you're buying something that you think would be hot in 7 months. And in 2 months' time, you think, you know what I mean? So it's more
Ah,
just like, let me make sure I'm
exactly.
ahead. And the more people that get in, the more competitive it becomes. In my opinion, the
Yeah.
further out you want to be, the more advantages you want to have. But one of them could just be, okay, I'm willing to buy now for something a year out, while most
Okay.
people can't even comprehend buying that far out. And so they're paying a
Mhm.
premium for something that could be a good investment in 3 months, but they also have a lot to
Mhm.
lose if it doesn't pan out.
That's very true.